"You're a disgrace to this family. An ungrateful, selfish disgrace." My mother's voice was shaking, not with sadness, with rage, because I'd just said two words she'd never heard from me before. I refuse. What was I refusing? To hand over my entire paycheck, every penny of my $68,000 salary, to parents who decided that earning money meant they owned it. I'm Maya Patel, 26 years old, software engineer at a tech company in Seattle. Good job, great salary, independent life. Except I wasn't independent at all. For 3 years since graduating from college, I'd been giving my parents 100% of my income. They'd deposited into the family account, give me a $400 monthly allowance, control everything else. Their reasoning? We paid for your education. You owe us. Family takes care of family. Last month, I opened my own bank account, had my paycheck deposited there instead, told them I'd contribute $1,500 monthly, a generous amount, but keep the rest for my own life. That's when everything exploded. The screaming, the accusations, the ultimatum. Give us full access to your salary or you're no longer our daughter. I chose myself. They cut me off completely, changed the locks while I was at work, put my belongings in garbage bags on the sidewalk, told extended family I'd abandoned them. What they didn't know, I'd been documenting everything, 3 years of financial control, and I'd just filed a report that would change everything. Want to see what happens when financial abuse disguised as culture meets actual law? This gets intense. Hit that like button if you've ever been told family always comes first. Comment where you're watching from. What you're about to hear is the difference between cultural respect and financial exploitation, and why I chose freedom. Let me take you back to where this started. College graduation, 3 years ago. I just finished my computer science degree. Full scholarship to the University of Washington, graduated with honors, job offer from a major tech company, $68,000 starting salary. I was 23, excited, ready to start my adult life. My parents had a different plan. "Maya, before you accept this job, we need to discuss how this will work." I thought they meant logistics, where I'd live, commute times, normal parent stuff. "You'll live at home, of course, save money, and your salary will go into the family account. We'll manage it for you. Make sure you're saving properly, building wealth the right way." I hesitated. The whole salary? My father's face hardened. "We spent $200,000 on a private school, tutoring, SAT prep, making sure you got that scholarship. You think that was free? This is how you repay us." But the scholarship covered college. The scholarship covered tuition. We covered everything else. Your childhood, your opportunities, your success. You owe us. My mother added, softer, "This is what good daughters do. Family takes care of family. We're not asking for us. We're protecting you. Young people waste money. We'll make sure you save. Build your future." It sounded reasonable, sort of. They had spent money on my education, and I'd never managed a real salary before. Maybe they were right. How much would I keep for myself? "We'll give you an allowance, $400 monthly. That's plenty for a young woman living at home. Food is provided, rent is free. What else do you need?" $400 monthly out of $68,000 annually. That's $4,800 yearly, less than 10% of my income. I should have said no immediately, but I was 23, raised to respect my parents, taught that challenging them was disrespectful, so I agreed. Year 1, I earned $68,000. They controlled $63,200. I got $4,800. The family account was solely in their names. I had no access, no visibility, just monthly statements they'd show me, highlighting our savings balance. "See? $30,000 saved already. You'd have spent this on rent and going out. We're building your future." except it wasn't my future. It was their account, their control, their money. Year 2, promotion, salary increased to $74,000. My allowance stayed at $400. You don't need more. We're saving the increase for you, for when you get married, need a house down payment. This is love. Love that came with complete financial control. Year 3, another promotion, senior engineer, $82,000 annually, still living at home, still getting $400 monthly, still having every dollar controlled. That's when things changed, when I started seeing clearly. What made me finally wake up? A conversation I overheard, not even meant for me. My parents were on the phone with my aunt, speaker mode, in the kitchen. I was in the next room. Aunt Priya, "How's Maya doing? She must be making good money now." My mother laughing, "Oh, she's doing very well. We're saving all of it for her. She doesn't even think about money, just focuses on work. Perfect arrangement." My father, "Best decision we made. That salary has funded our new car, the kitchen renovation, and the trip to India last year, and she doesn't ask questions, just accepts her allowance like a good girl." Wait, what? My salary funded their car, their renovations, their vacation? Aunt Priya, "She doesn't mind?" My mother, "She doesn't know. We show her saving statements, basic spreadsheet, says there's 80,000 saved. She believes it. Meanwhile, we've probably spent 60,000 on improvements. The house needed it. We'll pay her back eventually from the inheritance. It all stays in the family." My hands went numb. They were lying to me, showing fake saving statements, using my money for themselves, while telling me it was for my future. I pulled out my phone, started recording, got the entire conversation, 10 minutes of them discussing how they'd spent my salary, what they'd bought, how easy it was to control me. That night, I couldn't sleep. I created a spreadsheet, 3 years of income. My earnings: Year 1, $68,000. Year 2, $74,000. Year 3, $82,000. Total, $224,000. My allowance received, 3 years times $4,800 equals $14,400. Money they controlled, $224,000 minus $14,400 equals $209,600. Over $200,000 of my money that I'd never seen, never accessed, never controlled. According to their statements, I had $85,000 saved, meaning they'd spent at least $124,600 on themselves, on their lives, while telling me they were protecting me. This wasn't a cultural tradition. This was financial abuse. The next day, I did 3 things. Opened my own bank account at a different bank, just in my name. 2, called HR, changed my direct deposit information, new account effective immediately. 3, consulted with a lawyer, showed them the recording, asked if what my parents did was legal. The lawyer's response: "It's complicated. You voluntarily gave them access initially, but using your money without disclosure, showing false statements, that borders on fraud. And if you were coerced through family pressure, especially as a young adult, there may be financial abuse claims." I wasn't ready for legal action yet, but I was ready to take control. First paycheck in my new account, $3,800 after taxes. Biweekly pay. All mine, sitting in an account that only I could access. It felt like breathing for the first time in 3 years. 2 weeks after I redirected my paycheck, my father noticed. "Maya, your salary didn't deposit this month. Did something happen at work?" I'd been preparing for this, rehearsing, but my heart still raced. I changed my direct deposit. The money goes to my personal account now. Silence. Dangerous silence. "What do you mean, your personal account?" I opened my own account at a different bank. My salary goes there now. My mother entered the room. "What's going on?" My father's voice was cold. She took her salary, put it in her own account without discussing it with us. My mother's face flushed. "Maya, what have you done?" I stayed calm. "I'm 26 years old. I opened a bank account. That's normal. I'll still contribute to household expenses. I'm thinking $1,500 monthly. That's generous for $1,500? My father's voice rose. "Your entire salary belongs to this family. We invested everything in you." "You invested in your daughter, not in an income stream. I'm grateful for my education. I'll contribute fairly, but I won't give you my entire paycheck anymore." My mother started crying. Actual tears. "After everything we've done, this is how you repay us? You're selfish, ungrateful. We sacrificed for you. You used my money for your car, your kitchen, your vacation. I heard you on the phone with Aunt Priya. You've spent over $100,000 while telling me you were saving it." My father's expression changed. Caught. "You were eavesdropping? You were on speakerphone, in our house, and you were admitting to financial fraud." "Fraud?" My mother's tears vanished. "How dare you accuse us? We're your parents." "Who lied to me about where my money was going? Who showed me fake savings statements? Who spent my salary on yourselves while calling it family care?" My father stepped closer, intimidating. "You will transfer your salary to the family account. You will maintain respect in this household, or you will leave." I'd prepared for this, too. "I'll leave, then." "What?" "I'll move out, keep my salary, contribute nothing. Or I can stay, contribute $1,500 monthly for rent and food, and we maintain a relationship. Your choice." My mother's voice turned vicious. "You're choosing money over family? You chose money over honesty, over my autonomy, over treating me like an adult. Get out." My father pointed to the door. "If you won't respect this family, you're not part of it. Get out." I'd already packed. 2 suitcases in my car, important documents, essentials. I'd been ready for this. "I'll get the rest of my things tomorrow." "No." My mother's voice was sharp. "You leave now, you take nothing. This is our home. Everything in it is ours." I left that night with 2 suitcases, stayed at a friend's place, went to work the next day like normal. When I returned to collect my belongings, the locks were changed. I knocked. My father opened the door, didn't let me in. "Your things are here." He pointed to garbage bags on the lawn. "Take them and don't come back." My entire childhood, my books, my photos, my laptop with 3 years of work, all in garbage bags. Some things were missing. My grandmother's necklace, my college diploma, photo albums from my childhood. Where's my grandmother's necklace? She left that to me. She left it to her granddaughter. You're not our daughter anymore. Everything stays with the family. That was my breaking point. I filed reports. Multiple reports. Report 1, police, theft of personal property. The jewelry was specifically bequeathed to me in my grandmother's will. Withholding it was theft. Report 2, adult protective services. Financial exploitation of a dependent adult. Even though I was 26, the pattern of control from age 23 qualified. Report 3, employment attorney. Potential coercion and fraud. The lawyer I consulted suggested documenting everything for possible civil action. Report 4, family court. Request for return of personal property with sentimental value. My parents' response, they called every family member, told them I abandoned the family, refused to help them financially, and was selfish and westernized. My Aunt Priya called me. "Maya, your parents are devastated. How could you do this after everything they raised you? Did they tell you they spent over $100,000 of my salary on themselves while showing me fake bank statements?" Silence. Did they mention the recording I have of them discussing how easy it was to control me? More silence. They lied to you, like they lied to me. I'm not abandoning anyone. I'm stopping financial abuse. Some family members believed me. Most didn't. I was the ungrateful daughter. They were the wounded parents. 3 weeks later, court hearing for property return. The judge reviewed my grandmother's will. The jewelry was specifically bequeathed to me in my grandmother's will. Regardless of family disputes, inherited property must be returned. My parents were ordered to return everything within 7 days. They complied, barely. Returned items damaged. The necklace had stones removed. Photo albums had pictures torn out. The laptop was wiped clean. Petty, vindictive, hurtful. 1 month later, Adult Protective Services investigation concluded. Findings: pattern of financial control initiated when I was a young adult, 23, false statements regarding savings, fake bank statements, use of my income without proper disclosure, coercive family pressure to maintain control. Outcome: no criminal charges, I'd voluntarily agreed initially, formal finding of financial exploitation through family coercion. Report added to their record. I was advised I could pursue civil action for the recovery of misused funds. I considered suing, calculated they'd spent $124,600 of my money, but lawyers estimated a civil case would cost $30,000 plus and take years. I made a different choice. That was 8 months ago. I'm 26 now, living in my own apartment, 1 bedroom, downtown Seattle. It's small, it's expensive, it's mine. I control every dollar, every decision, every choice. After 3 years of financial imprisonment, freedom feels like oxygen. My parents haven't spoken to me since court. The extended family is divided. Half think I'm selfish, half quietly admit my parents were wrong. My cousin messaged me last week. My parents are pressuring me to do the same thing, give them my whole paycheck. Did yours really spend your money? I sent her the documentation, the recordings, the court findings. Yes, and they'll spend yours too, unless you set boundaries now. She opened her own account the next day. People ask if I regret losing my family over money. I didn't lose them over money. I lost them over control, over honesty, over the right to be a financially independent adult. They could have accepted $1,500 monthly, could have been happy I was successful, could have supported my autonomy. Instead, they demanded total control. When I refused, they chose estrangement. That was their choice, not mine. I'm Maya Patel, software engineer, 26 years old. For 3 years, I gave my parents 100% of my salary. They controlled $209,600 of my earnings. They spent over $124,000 on themselves, showed me fake bank statements, called it family tradition. When I opened my own account, they cut me off completely, called me a disgrace, put my things in garbage bags. I filed reports, got court orders, got my inherited property back, lost my family relationships. But I capped my salary, my independence, my future. Smash subscribe if financial independence matters more than guilt. Hit like if you've had to choose between family approval and personal freedom. Remember, cultural tradition doesn't justify financial